Thanks for listening to Style Split 5. In this episode, we're going to cover Placket Steel to corporate identity and visual systems. So you can check out the style characteristics in the review. And this first one, obviously, is going to be corporate identity. We see logotypes and identities, and it's corporate. We've got a recognizable object in the bottle, and we've got the Cyrillic alphabet. We're looking at constructivism, more corporate identities. Okay, in this particular piece, we see a Bauhaus influence, but American content, right? It's in English, polio research. And this is a very clear example of that modern movement. This particular example is Bauhaus. We see that sans serif typography, but also that new approach of scale contrasts going on. We've got pictographic signage for the Olympics. When we see that, we're in the Corporate Identity and Visual Systems chapter. The horizontals, the verticals, the primary colors tell us this is De Stijl. Again, that Bauhaus influence, but the American content. It even says See America. All these posters for national parks are social programs. We see that WPA typography. It's classic modern movement in America. When we have non-representational pieces that even look like a modern art, then we're looking at suprematism. We've got Olympic graphics, so we're in corporate identity and visual systems. Here we see the power of shape in the wheels of those tires. So again, we see a uniquely American approach, but it's got origins in European modernism. It's also incredibly playful, don't you think? It's visually dynamic and unexpected. So this is going to be the New York School. Corporate identities. This is De Stijl. We have primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, the horizontal and vertical lines. In this particular piece, we see the Bauhaus influence, but it is international typographic style because look at the asymmetry that's going on. We see flush left, ragged right layouts, and we see a reductive objectivity, no superfluous decoration, but most importantly, we see the influence of the grid. Do you see it? So the way the grid is showcasing and cropping all of those images. This is the International Typographic Style, also known as the ITS. We've got a great example of Art Deco here. The geometric shapes, kind of the streamlining, the elongating of that neck. Here we've got a Placket Steel example where it's a poster, it's in German, it's circled around the war effort, so we know we're in Placket Steel. A great example of Art Deco with the streamlined converging lines. Here we see some beautiful examples of furniture and like a teapot. This is all the Bauhaus. Beautiful objects, wonderful, comfortable chairs. Have some of them myself. So I know that that simplicity and that classic clean lines is Bauhaus. We've got modern movement in America here. We've got WPA typography for social programs. Notice it says Rural Electrification Administration. So during Roosevelt's New Deal, it was during the Depression, he put a lot of unemployed artists to work designing things for social programs. Olympic graphics, it's going to be corporate identity and visual systems. The black letter font, this is a poster for the war loan, it's Placket Steel. The primary colors, even though it's a chair, tells us it's De Stijl. Notice the powerful use of shape and the sort of almost unexpected way those are separating the typography. It tells us we're looking at the New York School. Placket steel, we've got the flat background color, the dominant stylized image, and the name of the product. Corporate identity, we've got pictographic signage for the Olympics. Art Deco, we see the streamlining, the abstraction of that figure. It's in French. De Style, the primary colors. Here we see the grid, so prominent, the way the type is all aligned. It's totally reductive, objective. This is the International Typographic Style. We've got the Cyrillic alphabet and a recognizable object, so we're in constructivism. Corporate identity. Notice the importance of shape in this particular piece, the shape of the barbed wire, the way the shadow goes. But it's really unexpected. Is that wrapping paper because it's a Christmas issue? Or is the barbed wire poking someone and that's blood? It's visually compelling. It's playful. It's dynamic and unexpected. It's got to be New York School. We've got great examples of constructivism and the Cyrillic alphabet. Back to shape. When shape is the prominent thing, you're looking at New York School. Placket steel, the name of the product, the flat background color, that dominant stylized image. The primary colors here, De Style. Says it, Bauhaus. Rural Electrification Administration, that's a social program. It's WPA typography. It's modern movement in America. The streamlining, this is Art Deco. The simplicity, the non-representational, kind of looks like a piece of modern art, but we have the Cyrillic alphabet, it's suprematism. Placket steel, suprematism once again. Okay, in this particular piece, we see that very clean sans serif lettering, and it says Swiss. So the International Typographic Style is really associated with Switzerland, and this is ITS. This is an example of the new typography, which is part of the Bauhaus. So Bauhaus and the new typography are the same item on the test. So here we see that asymmetrical, flush left, ragged right, priority assigned to text based on weight and size. It's trying to function and communicate. It's very simple, the type without embellishment, and rules are used for emphasis, all the qualities of the new typography. Here we see a war poster. It's got to be placket steel. It's non-representational. It's suprematism. It's the name of the product, a flat background color, the dominant stylized image, placket steel. Here, shape is so important in this poster by Saul Bass, Anatomy of a Murder. And it's kind of unexpected that the type would be on that shape. Again, the New York School in action. Here we see the piece where it's incredibly simple. It has sans serif letters. It is asymmetrical. It's reductive. It's objective. So this is the International Typographic Style. It says Basler, which is Basel, there. Okay, and here we see a classic example of the Bauhaus. Just really functional, really serving a purpose. And that's it. Thank you for listening to Style Split 5 and for practicing your skills for our final exam.